Animal crimes against humans are real. There are monkeys that mug, sharks that snatch, and foxes with foot fetishes. No shoe is safe. But besides the usual snatch and runs, truly crazy situations are going on out there. Top 10 moments when animals robbed people. Number 10. A fishing boy was almost shark-slapped. In 2019, a family booked a boat trip near Cape Cod. They spent the day fishing, and at one point, somebody caught a bass. The great white, which went unnoticed until it attacked, did not believe in stealth. It catapulted out of the water, flipped through the air in a somersault, and bit the bass in half. The violent acrobatics almost connected a kid's face with the shark's tail. But luckily for the boy, it just missed him. Number 9. The fox steals shoes. In 2020, Christian Meyer left his running shoes on the porch. The next morning, the Berlin resident noticed that one was missing. The theft was upsetting. The shoes were expensive, and he could hardly go running with a single sneaker. He began asking around and realized that many of his neighbors were also missing their footwear. Meyer eventually identified the thief, a fox. He followed the creature to a thicket, where the man crawled around for an hour. He was probably spurred on by the price he had paid for the sneakers. Then he hit pay dirt. The fox kept a collection of shoes in the brush, and the loot contained nearly 100 clogs, sandals, slippers, and running shoe. Number 8. A lab Techie was mugged by a monkey. In 2020, a lab technician left his workplace and the tiny mugger struck. The monkey attacked the man, pilfered his possessions, and ran off with several medical items. The man took footage of the creature sitting in a tree before telling anyone what had happened. When campus authorities learned of the incident, nobody gave the human victim a blanket and hot cocoa for comfort. Instead, he was grilled on how he could have allowed himself to be overpowered by a monkey and why he had decided to film the animal instead of immediately raising the alarm. Number 7. A crow jacked credit card. Crows are smart. Their natural curiosity has allowed researchers to teach these birds remarkable skills. For example, one trainer taught crows how to find coins on the street and drop them into a vending machine in exchange for a peanut. A woman used the machine next to the crows. When her card was ejected, the bird snatched it. The crow seemed clueless about what to do next and eventually let the woman have her card back. While these birds are super intelligent, the crow might never have realized anything. Perhaps it just liked the card's glittering hologram sticker. Number 6. Their home invader. One day in 2018, the homeowners left for an hour, but not before they secured their property against a break-in. The only exception was a small kitchen window. They left it open thinking that no bear could possibly squeeze through, especially not Sweet Tooth, which stood 213 centimeters, 7.0 tall. You know, big bear. Big mistake. Sweet Tooth arrived and zeroed in on the open window. He expertly removed the mesh cover before worming halfway through the frame to search for snacks. The burglar's efforts were rewarded. On the sink counter was a packet of M&Ms, which he promptly tore open and hoovered up. Number 5. A gull overwhelmed by curry. In 2016, a gull was desperately hungry. As veterinarians later testified at his hearing, all right, at the sink where they scrubbed him clean, this was a young and starving bird. Unsurprisingly then, when the gull spotted meat at a UK factory, he dive-bombed it. Perhaps the bird swooped in a little too enthusiastically. Or perhaps he had never stolen from a vat of chicken tikka masala before, because that is exactly what the gull fell into. By the time the bird arrived at the wildlife clinic, The marsupial had turned his feathers a bright orange. The plumage almost hurt the vet's eyes. But what surprised them even more was how delicious the curry thief smelled. Number 4. The 47-second gem grab. A brazen diamond heist happened in 2018, but the police never showed up. To be fair, they were not informed of the event and SWAT probably would have stepped on the crook without realizing it. The individual boldly stealing a diamond was an ant. Not much is known about where this happened. But since there were other diamonds, it was probably on a workbench of some kind. For roughly 47 seconds, the camera followed the ant in a slow-speed chase across the table. Then the video suddenly ended. Number 3. Cat burglars are real. Dennis the cat was 6 months old when his owner decided that he was ready to leave the house. But Bedfordshire was not quite ready for Dennis. The klepto kitten stole things throughout the neighborhood and presented them to his family as gifts. By 2012, the cat was a well-known local thief. His owner kept everything snatched by Dennis in boxes and consulted the evidence room whenever neighbors inquired about missing items. The cat's crime spree amassed bags, shoes, shirts, dolls, newspapers, paintbrushes, and underwear. Lots of underwear. Number 2. An octopus took photos with a stolen camera. A man wrestles a giant octopus. Man has to let go of his camera or drown. Octopus wins and takes photos of its own tentacles. This is not a bad horror movie with comedic moments. The large octopus grabbed his camera and refused to let go. Give the guy credit, he put up a good fight. But when the octopus tore at his mask and protective clothing, he had to back off or risk the dangers of the freezing seawater. On a subsequent dive and a second tussle, the diver and a friend managed to get the camera away from the creature. Once back on dry land, they discovered that the octopus had taken several blurry photos of herself. Number 1. The monkey extortion hustle. Need a new camera? Sunglasses. Go to Bali and wait behind a monkey-filled tree. The little thugs will deliver the goods, for the right snack. When researchers counted the ways in 2010, former CAC gangs committed 201 robberies in just 4 months. The situation is remarkable in several ways besides the prolific extortion. For one, the monkeys taught themselves to barter with humans. Indeed, these are the only wild animals in the world running a rob and swap business. The monkeys also taught their kids to keep this line of crime in the family.